Everybody, welcome to the February meeting of the Mountain View Computer Users Group. We'll get started. First off, we have two sponsors. If you know anybody who'd like to sponsor a meeting, we have some information about that. Mia Bella's Candles, which is Carolyn the Candle Lady, Carol McLean. Mike is sick, so Carolyn is staying home taking care of him. He's pretty sure it's a stomach flu. JB Photo and Video, for any of your photographic needs, that's me, by the way. Contact us. Contact me at my number. If you know anybody who'd like to sponsor a meeting, it's $10 a meeting, $100 a year. And that's for 12 sponsorships. You get a slide during the meeting, and we'll read any presentation you'd like to have done. It's posted video on the web. We mention you in the Facebook post. Ask around who knows might be interested in sponsoring. Today's agenda, business, a little bit about that, not much. Timely tech topics, and we got some great ones that have just happened the past couple of days. Even Barry doesn't know about one of them. Or he might know about it, but doesn't know I'm going to talk about it. Tips of the month and sharing favorites, and we got some great ones this month. The term of the month, and you can probably guess it since the topic this month is digital wallets. And then using your digital wallet, that's our main topic presentation. And then we'll have a Q&A session at the end. Okay, business. I'd like to welcome all of you again. I'm John Buno, your president. Any resemblance between that picture and me is purely coincidental. Mike is out sick today. He's one of our vice presidents. The other vice president is Barry. Barry, raise your hand for anybody who doesn't know him. Carolyn is Mike's wife, so she's with him today. She's our treasurer. We will not have a treasurer's report. We do have money in the treasury. That's about as much as I know. Jim Emmons is our webmaster. He does exist. I actually saw him 2 days ago. I went over to his house. He was trying to help me with something, which turned out that he didn't have the right thing either. A few things about the club. We have our website, mvc.org. That lets you know the next meeting, things coming up, tips, tricks. Check it out about once a week. Oh, our Facebook. We have a Facebook page, facebook.com MVCUG. We try and keep interesting things up there. We have our resources page, which is only available to members through a link I send you. And when I send out the videos each month, you get that link to this resource page. There's all kinds of stuff up there. In addition, online resources. We have a hardware checkout, a film slide scanner, and a projector. We have our Zoom account, so you can have a Zoom meeting up to 100 people, if I remember correctly. Professional consultation. Both Barry and I provide it. Membership is $25 per household annually. If you've not paid September through August to our treasurer, Carolyn, mail a check, or better yet, there's her address, or you can send it via PayPal. And if you use how many of you use PayPal? Barry and I are the only ones who've ever used PayPal? Wow. Yeah, I use PayPal all the time. What I do is I use my bank. So it draws it from the bank via PayPal because it's much easier to use PayPal than any other way of paying online. What's coming up? Okay, today, and then in March, we've got cybersecurity. And then April, we will be in a different room. And we'll let you know about that also. Yeah. Okay, everything you didn't know you wanted to know. Okay, Apple brings digital transactions to the iPhone. This is huge. For those of you who remember, when I came back from China, I talked to you about the fact that in the major cities in China, they don't use cash or credit cards. Everybody uses their phones. So if you go up to a vendor, regardless of the size vendor, they just show you show them their phone, they use their phone, the transaction is complete. We have nothing, even Apple Pay is not that versatile. What this allows you to do is, as a vendor, I have an app on my phone. You make a payment on your phone, I hold my phone up, I scan the QRC code off your phone, transaction is complete. That has now been, Apple is introducing that within the next year. So that is huge. That is going to open up digital commerce like it has never been opened before. Because like if you've gone to many vendors, like if you go to the farmer's market, trying to make a payment at the farmer's market is not easy with a credit card. With this system, it will be simple. You merely bring up the app, type in the amount of money, hold up your phone, and that's it. It's even better than Cash App. And we'll talk about Cash App in a bit. Yeah. But nobody is taking the guts to do it because Apple has links with banks. They can do this. Where with the Android systems, there's no one central. But with Apple doing that, that will open up the floodgates. So it'll initially start out on the iPhone for sure, going back probably the iPhone 8 if I remember correctly. It's got the NFC chip in it. And the other thing that came out, the other one is the Open App Bill. It's before Congress now. Since it has not been implemented yet, I can't give you a positive answer. I can tell you based upon Apple Pay and the Apple credit card that you know finitely exactly what you spent, when, and where, down to the second. So I imagine it will be the same way, that you'll be able to go back and take a look at the transaction history easily. I found actually the Apple credit card to be one of the best transaction histories I've seen. Which brings up a good point, Barry. Thank you for reminding me about this. If you use credit cards, most banks have to notify you of purchases. If you have not turned that on, go up to your bank's website, to your account, find it wherever it is, and turn it on. That way, every time you make a charge, or every time a charge is made against your account, you're notified of it. It's a godsend, because I'll be sitting there and all of a sudden it says, "Oh, you just made an online purchase." I did. Okay. Normally it's my daughter, but well, for credit card purchases, normally it's all credit card purchases. For your account, you can set limits, like deposit limits. Any deposits over $100, or any withdrawals over $100, but on credit cards, it's, at least in my experience so far, it's all transaction. Before we get to Open App Bill. Now, the Open App Bill, this is an attempt by Congress to stop big tech companies. And here's the major things. Requires developers to use the company's own app processor to stop this. Penalizing developers, what it's trying to do. Unreasonably preferencing its own apps. Allowing you to install third-party apps without using the App Store, which is exactly opposite of what Apple does on the iPhone. This is a very controversial. While its intent is good, so far its implementation can be dangerous because they're ignoring why these things are being done. I personally enjoy my iPhone being virus-free. That is because Apple checks to make sure that any applications you install on the iPhone are virus-free. Do scam apps get through? Yeah. Virus apps? And my problem with this is greed. Because I remember back in the days as a developer, if I developed an application to get it marketed, I would be lucky to get 10% back. With the Apple Store, I am guaranteed 70%. But greed has come in, mainly from one company that thinks that's too much. And they're forgetting what it was like before Apple came up with the Apple Store. And when that happened, developers all over the world said, thank goodness we're now off of that yoke of not getting any money for our applications, because most of it went to the distributors. One of our members, Charles Marlowe, he had a great app, utility app. He ended up, and it was a fairly decent seller, he ended up getting less than $1,000 on sales, almost $300,000. All the money went to distributors. Apple stopped that. So the Open App Bill is something to keep a look at. Know it's out there. I personally think that it, in its current form, is a disaster because it's not going to achieve what it wants to do, because it's trying to stop monopoly of big tech in all the wrong places. Any questions about the user group before we continue? Okay, no questions on the user group. Let's move right along. Share a favorite app. We'll not be able to do the Windows because Mike is not here. Barry, you've got the, how do you want to do that one? What you can do is you can use...
Yeah, I can...
Yeah. Well, I know what you can do is it works like a champ. I just did it from my phone to the computer. So you give it a try and see what happens. tvOS. Okay, Apple TV. For those of you who own an Apple TV, and if you don't own an Apple TV, I think you're really missing out on a great product. That's all I use for TV today. Now, one of the things the Apple TV has is Apple has a prolifera screensaver videos. Beautiful shots, but you never know where they are. Like, oh, that is incredible. Where is that? We found out by accident that on the remote control, if you touch, not press, the trackpad, it brings up where the location is. And we found like Iceland is an amazing place. We had no idea we were looking at Iceland. Yosemite, we knew Yosemite. Shots from the International Space Station. It says where it is and what it's going over. Like last night, we were looking at it and Jane said, I have no idea where that is. And so we touched it and said, going from China towards Korea. And then as it progressed, it said from Korea into Japan. Were you able to connect to it? Okay. So that's, if you own an Apple TV, try that out. Up until 2 weeks ago, no one had ever known about that. We thought, he may have found it off of what I posted, because I posted a lot of places, that Mac Geek picked it up. It's not a well-known thing, but it is fantastic. Okay.
My tip about the Mac is about the name of your Mac. So you might be thinking, well, isn't the name of my Mac what Apple names it? Well, and of course, you would be partly right. If you go to the Apple menu and choose About This Mac, you will see one of the names, I guess, of your Mac. It'll give you the model name, the model of the Macintosh you're using underneath the operating system here. So I'm using a MacBook Air, and in parentheses, it has M1, 2000. So most Mac model names will have at least a year, which is the year that that particular model you're using, whether it's MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, iMac, whatever year that one came out. And sometimes it'll be preceded with a early or middle or mid or late year, depending on when it came out and how many they released that year. They may also have a monitor size in the case of a model that has multiple monitor sizes, like it might say MacBook Pro 13-inch or MacBook Pro 15-inch, iMac 27-inch, iMac 24-inch, iMac 21-inch, 21.5-inch, or whatever it was the last one I did. So, yes, that is sort of the name of your Mac. It's the model name of your Mac, and that's set by Apple, of course. But there's another place where you can actually name your Mac whatever you want it to. There is a default value, but in System Preferences, under the Sharing Preference pane, it's a little folder with a little public guy. At the very top of this preference pane is a field called Computer Name, which by default it'll just say whatever the model name is that Apple gave it. So when I first got this Mac and set it up, it said MacBook Air. But you can change it, you can type it. And this is the name of your Mac that will appear in a number of places. It'll appear on your local network. It'll also appear in your Apple ID settings on your device list. Let me back out to the main thing here and go to my Apple ID, and you'll see, if you look at your Apple ID, and this will apply to your Apple ID settings on a mobile device as well, show a list of devices that are associated with my Apple ID. Okay, so to get around that little not being available, I've just logged into my account on the web at appleid.apple.com, and I'm clicking on the device list, devices here, and now it's just showing me all my devices. This is my latest watch, my new phone, there's an old iMac, my Apple TV, Lucinda, my wife's iMac, and here is Miranda. And my Mac Mini at home is named Vincent. My stuff is named after artists. So I use artist first names for my hard drives and for my computer. So that's where you can name your computer. In System Preferences, Sharing, and you'll notice one other little thing here right underneath that computer name field that says computers on your local network can access your computer at miranda.local. That would be applicable if I had like file sharing and screen sharing turned on here, or any of these other sharing things. Don't have them turned on. But that can also be edited, but that changes based on this name. So whatever name you give your computer manually here, it will update this for your local network name. You can screen share, just use it, knowing somebody's. How come I can't turn that off?
Question.
Somebody needs a microphone. Well, let's repeat the question.
We'll repeat the question.
Yes. There's a similar place to name your iPhone. Did you notice that here, my iPhone is named Baz's iPhone 13 Pro? Come right out of the box, it'll just say iPhone 13 Pro from Apple.
When Barry's done, I'll show you where it is on the iPhone.
Because you're going to have to do my iOS tip too.
Yeah.
Mine's up here.
Okay.
But it's very, very quick.
Oh, okay.
All right. Any other questions about naming your Mac? You may have noticed, I'll just quit that then, that also the hard drive I have on my desktop says Miranda, and I put SSD in it because it's a solid state drive storage internally. The hard drive, by default, Apple names it Macintosh HD, whether it's an SSD or a spinning hard drive, doesn't matter. They always just use Macintosh HD. You can also change that. So you can name your hard drive anything you want. I think that's it for me.
Okay.
You want to be able to distinguish by their names what they are, so that you know where they are.
Your iOS tip.
Okay, my iOS tip. I have to go to the lock screen.
Oh, okay.
So here, very quickly, the iOS tip is when you're on the lock screen, you'll notice at the very bottom are two buttons. There's a flashlight button on the left and a camera button on the right. So if you need to get to the camera very, very quickly to take a picture, you can press and hold on this button and it'll launch the camera. However, there's one even faster way to do that. So if you see, oh, there's a photo op, I need to pull up my phone, it wakes up, you just swipe left and you're right into the camera without having to push any buttons or anything.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I learned that at an Apple store.
Well, that's cool. You can just click once and take a picture. Or if you click and hold, you can take videos, you run it over to a video or a burst mode. Move it to the left for burst mode, to the right for video. So if you're in a situation where it's a dynamically changing situation and you're afraid of missing a shot, click, hold over to the left, and that I'm taking pictures. And you come down here and you see all these pictures were taking place. So that's burst mode photography. The one I like is Plant Snap, and for birds, is Merlin Bird ID. Those two apps.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, Merlin Bird ID, you can just hold up the phone and the birds, it will tell you what the bird is. Or you can take a picture of it if you can. For Plant Snap, you take a picture of the plant and it will identify it. And it's about 90% accurate. It has a difficult time with weeds. Anything else? Well, before we get into term of the month, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Yay, so it is break time. Hurrah, hurrah. Now, using your digital wallet, here's some examples of a digital wallet. And we're going to go through these, a few of the demos. We have PayPal, which is the oldest of the e-wallet systems. And it is owned by eBay. They set it up specifically so people using eBay could pay securely and also to protect your money. If you make a PayPal transaction, you can dispute that transaction and get your money back. So let's say you buy something off of eBay and it turns out that it's bogus. You go up to PayPal and say, hey, there's a bogus transaction, and they will get your money back. I know this for a fact because I've done it. Then we're going to talk about Cash App, which is one of my favorite apps for paying electronically. And anybody who has Cash App can either pay or receive money very easily. I don't know if Cash App is owned by Square or not, but Square is a different system, a different program than Cash App. Yeah. Then some others, we're going to talk about Apple Pay, which comes with every phone. I love Apple Pay. I can put money into it, pay for it like a debit card. If somebody needs to make a quick payment to me through, and I'll show you this on the a demo, Google Pay is very similar, and others that are out there is you have Venmo, which is the one of choice amongst the younger generation. Why, I don't know. Yeah, yes, it is. Venmo is owned by PayPal. It's an incestuous relationship. Zelle payments, yeah, but it makes sending money to people very, very easy. So let's go up. We're going to take a look at PayPal real fast. What I'm going to do is come over and show you the PayPal app. And here's PayPal. I can send or receive money. If I want to send somebody money, I just click on send. I pick out who it is I want to send money to, and they're given a notice through their email or their PayPal app that they've received money. Or I can request money from somebody. Let's say that somebody owes me money. Let's say that Barry, if someone sends you money via PayPal, Zelle, any of the systems, and you don't have an account with them, they will query you for the account information to transfer it to whatever you want to transfer to. So you don't have to have, but they'll walk you through the steps to get it, okay? The company, Zelle, PayPal, Venmo, when you get the email saying, hey, you've just been sent $1,000 from an unknown source, we need the following information in order to give it to you. And you can put it on a debit card. You can put it into a bank account. In some cases, a credit card. I know PayPal does that. I don't know about others where you can credit to your fees are really weird. Okay, some of them charge fees, some of them don't charge fees. But that's PayPal. That's how easy it is to use. Setting up a PayPal account, all you really have to do is give them a source. You are not required to give them bank information, but you cannot send money unless you do. You can receive money. The money you receive, then you can pay that out to somebody.
Well, you can use a credit card.
Well, yes, but I'm saying you don't have to, okay? You can sign up for a PayPal account, and in fact, I did this for years with, I just threw money in from eBay, and then I would use that to buy stuff through PayPal. And PayPal is probably, I would say, the most used system for electronic payment online. Express Scripts uses it, VA uses it, just about everybody. And what I do is, to be extra secure, because I don't like giving out credit card numbers, I will pay through PayPal using my bank account that I have registered with PayPal, so the vendor never sees my credit card number. They have no idea what it is. Now, one of the big things, how secure is PayPal? Very secure, because the person at the other end sees nothing except your PayPal account name, which does not necessarily your email address name. You can choose it. We'll talk later when we talk about digital wallets with Apple, why the Apple system is the preferred system for digital payments. It is the most secure out there. So that's PayPal. Very easy to use. And you can get a PayPal credit card. You can use your own bank account. You can put other credit cards in there. So you can use multiple ways of paying using PayPal, which is almost like a digital wallet app itself. You can have multiple credit cards in there, though it's not like a digital wallet application. It can be used that way. So it's like a digital wallet. I can have all kinds of information. You can only put in bank information, credit cards, debit cards, bank accounts. You can't store anything else in your digital wallet through PayPal. Any questions? Okay, the next one I want to show you is one of my favorites, is Cash App. I have Cash App. There's Cash App.
Yeah.
It comes up.
That's the Square.
Yeah, it's owned by Square. Oh, it's telling me to file my taxes. I'll do that later. If I want to send somebody money, I can say, $5, hit pay, and it'll send it to whoever I want to. Now, I need to get their information. But what is so cool about Cash App, this right here is my QRC code. If I need to pay somebody, I just show them this. They can scan it and automatically enters it. Or my Cash App name is $John Buno. If you put that in, it'll go directly to me. That's what I hate about this. I can never get back to sending money. There it is. Okay. So if I want to pay somebody, I can scan their email address, or I can add them. I never can find that when I'm looking for it. Is there someplace? Oh, there it is. I can scan the QR code. It makes it very, very simple. And you can also buy Bitcoin. Interestingly, I saw this the other day. If you took the stimulus money that you were given and invested it in Bitcoin, the $1,500 you were given, depending upon which Bitcoin you put it in, would be worth anywhere from $130,000 to $275,000. Bitcoin, by the way, is extremely volatile. It goes up and down like gangbusters. Okay, now there is something that you need to check out with your bank to find out if they offer this, which they may or may not offer. Not all banks do. If they do take advantage of it, virtual credit cards. A virtual credit card is a one-time use only, time-limited credit card against your account. So let's say that I want to make a purchase, United Airlines, to buy tickets. Don't really like the idea of giving out my credit card number. I go up. Now, my bank right now does not offer virtual credit cards. At least Chase doesn't. Many banks do. I say virtual credit card. It will issue me a number, an expiration date, and a CVV number to use, and normally it's for 30 minutes. Virtual credit cards are becoming less and less required because the new systems are more and more secured. Using Apple Pay now to make payments online is extremely secure. And I'll explain why in just a second. Well, let's talk about Apple Pay. But I want to show you Apple Pay. One of the things about Apple Pay. Okay, I'm going to go into messages to my wife. And now down here, I'm going to press on, you see right down here where it says Apple Pay. Click on that. And I'm going to pay her $1. Hit the send. And it's pulling it out of the account, my Apple Cash account. Or I can go in and select any one of my digital wallet application apps. I'm going to send her $1. I'm going to confirm it. And she's got it that fast. It went to her Apple Pay account on her phone, her Apple Cash account. Now, from her Apple Cash, she can transfer that to anything she wants to. That's why I said if you had an iPhone, it's even faster. That is the fastest way of sending money I've ever seen. I mean, I've been like, one time, Jane went to the Circle K, didn't have enough cash, so she texted me, I need more money. So I had the money on my Apple Cash account, so I sent it to her right there from the parking lot. Yes, dear, I know. I forgot to tell her I was going to do that. Okay, so that's using Apple Cash, Apple Pay. If you made a mistake, the only thing you can do is request it. You can't cancel it. Once you send it, it's gone. It's like paying cash. Okay, if you accidentally give me $1,000, the only way you're going to get that $1,000 back is to beg me to give it back to you. So that's the Apple Pay system. Every phone comes with Apple Cash, and you can do it through messages. It's as simple as I just showed you, and it is completely secure. Okay, go to System Settings, watch the screen, enter Cash. You'll see a selection that says Apple Cash. Select that, turn it on, and then Apple Cash is active. Okay, I do want to talk about, under the Apple Pay system, the credit cards that are stored under Apple Pay. When you make a purchase at a store using Apple Pay, and right now, it's really hard to find somebody who doesn't accept Apple Pay. You know, when it first came out, almost nobody did. Walgreens was the only place that did it. Now, pardon?
And McDonald's.
Yeah, and McDonald's. Now, almost everybody accepts it. Now, what happens? I know a lot of people were concerned about, oh, geez, you know, I don't want to use it because it's not secure. How safe is it to use digital wallets? Now, we talked about PayPal, extremely safe. Cash App, extremely safe. Venmo, extremely safe. What about your credit cards? Because that's what's in the Apple Pay wallet, and you use an Apple Pay. A lot of people were freaking out saying, geez, I don't want to use my phone because it's not going to be secure. Stop and think about using your credit card. When you use your physical credit card, you are taking that card with the number, the CVV, and the expiration date and handing it to a perfect stranger who you are trusting not to copy that information. When you make that payment, you are transmitting a code, not your credit card information. You're transferring a code to that vendor, and that code is transmitted to the bank where the transaction is completed. At no time is your credit card number transmitted anywhere. Yes, sir. What most restaurants are doing now, and the question is, I'm at a restaurant, I want to use Apple Pay, how do I do it? If they are carrying around with them a phone or a tablet, you can use Apple Pay. You can also ask them, do they accept Apple Pay or digital payments? I don't know about Texas Roadhouse. I know a lot of them today you can do that with, especially if you go up to the cash register, you can pay for it. You have to ask. I know that Chili's has it. You can pay right there at the table. A lot of places now have got a terminal at the table. Houston Airport, I don't think you can use a credit card there anymore. Everything is digital payment. Now, the one that is actually easier to use is the Apple Watch to make payments with. You go up, I just come up here, select my digital wallet, select the card, double click, put it right on the reader, and it's done. Pardon? No. Why would you think that?
It's so easy, you spend all the money.
And when I first started using my Apple Watch, people were freaking out over it.
Even the places that knew that they took
Yes.
Apple Pay, and they said, you can do that with your watch?
Exactly. Now, apparently, more people are using it because I don't freak as many people out. But when I go shopping now, that's what I carry. I don't even carry my phone with me anymore. Your phone has got to be nearby in order for it to work. I normally have mine in my pocket. Though I have used it, I've left the phone in the car, gone into the Circle K, and it connects. Safeway for the Safeway parking lot into the Safeway doesn't connect sometimes. Bluetooth is really weird these days. I'm getting ranges on Bluetooth that are just incredible. So, using digital payments is far more secure than either cash or credit cards. Far more secure. I don't like to carry credit cards at all anymore. I try to avoid them. I carry my digital wallet. Now, let's talk about the Apple Digital Wallet, the Apple Wallet app. It contains digital wallets, i.e. electronic credit cards. So let's talk about it. It is more than just carrying credit cards. You have not only credit cards, Apple Cash, that we've talked about, loyalty cards. In mine, I've got Total Wine, Lowe's, Home Depot, Marriott. And my favorite one, I forgot to even put it here, is my Disney annual pass. When I go to Disneyland now, my annual pass is on my watch. So with that, I can get into the parks, I can pay, I can get in my hotel room. I don't need anything else. Well, once you get in the park, the rides are all free. Yes. Yeah. Travel, boarding passes. You remember the days of the paper boarding pass? Don't need them anymore. Let me show you. This is what we've got. I'm going to go into my digital wallet. Here's my digital wallet. And you can see there's my Disney annual pass. That's my annual pass. That's my wife's annual pass. So when we want to go into the park, all we have to do is click that and hold it up to the touch point and walk right in. And I have my credit cards. Here's my Cash App. That's my Apple credit card. Here's my ticket for the Men Who Cook event coming up in March. My insurance card for driving. My vaccination card, which even California accepts. Starbucks. When I go to Starbucks, all I do is show them that. Let's see, what else do I have? My Lowe's card, my Total Wine card, my Disney gift card, which I can put money on. Now, let's say that I have this and I want to share it with somebody. I click the three little dots, the share icon, and I can send it to anybody I want to. And they now have access to that card in their wallet. Now, to solve that issue, you give them the watch and the passcode. Say goodbye to them. You still have your phone, you go on your phone and you deactivate it all. And it's completely worthless. See? Okay. Now, we're going to go down here and we've got, IKEA. Okay. I have here expired passes. So these are the boarding passes for my past flights. So here's my boarding pass. That's the Find My application on your Mac, your iPhone. It will track and tell you exactly where that watch is. I have air tags on my keys. Here are my keys. I have an Apple tag on my keys. So if I accidentally leave them someplace, I'll give you an example, okay? I put my watch in the shopping cart at Safeway when I shop. I loaded up the groceries and I left my phone on the shopping cart and I drove away. I got to the edge of the parking lot and all of a sudden my watch went ballistic saying, your iPhone was left at this location. Your phone has been left at this location. And it's beeping at me and screaming at me. I said, oh crap. So I turned around, went back, and it was still sitting in the shopping cart. That's part of the Find My system. Any place your iPhone, AirTags, Macs, you can find out exactly where they are. Just go to the Find My app. So if somebody steals, let them have your watch. Give it to them. Here, take it. It's yours. Because I'm going to know exactly where you are. The Maps application has a park car function, which doesn't work well. It always does. Mine always doesn't pick up where I've parked at. It's always where I was parked at. So what I do is I take one of my air tags and I leave it in the car. I have, yeah, it's 4 for $80, something like that now. The one I use the most is I bought a special case for my Apple TV remote with an air tag in it. Because invariably, I will lose that stupid thing inside the couch or someplace. Like the other day, I couldn't find my keys. I had no idea where I put them. So I went to, Find My. I said, play the sound. I hear it, but where the heck is it? Okay, and I played it. My keys were in my pants pocket. Okay, now boarding pass. Okay, I brought up the boarding pass, and you will either see one of two messages, either delete or remove pass. Yeah, this is something very new, and I don't know if it's part of the beta system. So those are some of the things you can do with the Apple. Let's go up here and go back. Oh, yeah. Now, some of the things that are coming up, event tickets, talk about gift cards, coupons. There's a number of coupons. Now, what's coming very soon, there is a legal issue that has come up, is your driver's license will be in the wallet app. College IDs, not Cochise College, but many major universities, college IDs are now available in the app. library cards, insurance cards. It is becoming a true wallet where you don't have to carry your wallet anymore. You can just carry this and have everything you need. I use my wallet less and less every time. In fact, I don't even have my wallet with me today. I have my driver's license, and I've showed you that app before. Right now, TRICARE is your military ID card. That is going to be digital sometime within the year. I spoke with TRICARE the other day. They said it's coming. It's just around the corner. VA has got it, but you have to be, I think, 70% disabled to get it. There's a level of which it's a phased-in approach. If I want to add a card, you see the plus sign? I hit the plus sign. When ID cards come available, it will be here. That's where it will show. Transit cards, San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, Boston, Chicago, Atlanta.
Portland, I believe.
Is Portland now?
Yeah.
Okay. You can add a transit card. United States. Oh, here we go. United States, Los Angeles. Oh, they haven't added the other ones yet. China, they haven't added the new cities yet. They've announced it, but they haven't added them.
Yeah, they have.
So you don't have to carry your transit cards with you anymore. To add a credit card, this is so slick. You just show the credit card and it adds it. You don't even have to think about it. Or you can enter it manually if you want to. I just use the scanning feature. It has worked on all but one credit card. And that was, I don't remember which one it was. It wouldn't recognize it. So it's very easy to add credit cards. To add loyalty cards, you must do it from within the app or the website. Now, what you look for is see this logo, add to Apple Wallet. Look for that logo. That's how you do it in the USAA app, for Lowe's, and you just tap on that, boarding passes, and it adds it right to your digital wallet. Now, you have to be on your phone to do it. So it's relatively easy to do. All you have to do is look for that logo, and I know United, American, Delta all have electronic boarding passes. Southwest has electronic boarding passes. Frontier and Spirit, which is now One Airlines, I don't know. Very simple to use. If you have an iPhone and you're not using your digital wallet app, I strongly urge you to, you don't have to do it for credit cards, use it just for loyalty cards.
Yeah, Staples has a loyalty.
Yeah, Staples, Lowe's. Like when I go to Lowe's, I just show them my watch and it automatically triggers my account with them. For some reason, I do not know how to mirror my watch to my computer. On your Apple Watch, does anybody have an Apple Watch besides Barry and I? Okay, Charles. In order, your credit cards are not automatically added to your Apple Watch. You have to go in and add them manually. And here are the steps right here, if you're interested in it. Okay, to get to your Apple Wallet, and I'll show you this, you just double tap the sidebar, takes you right into the Apple Wallet. We talked about sharing cards. Now, I want to try something. I've never tried this before. No, you cannot share credit cards. Good. But there is something to where I'm going to go to my Disney card. Oh, by the way, here are all my transactions. You're talking about transactions? On this card, these are all the transactions I've used. Now, let's go to the info box. Let's say that I'm in Mexico and my wallet gets stolen and it's got my card in it with the number to the bank on it. As long as I have my phone, I can call the bank right from here. That makes, okay. Now, questions and discussion. There is one additional thing that has nothing to do with the digital wallet. Okay, we have any other questions about today's? Yeah. Currently, passports are not allowed to be digital. It is being reviewed by the State Department.
They already have a chip in them, right? They scan it. When you...
Oh yeah, the passport itself
Right.
has got a chip in it. Allowing to be digital, I would say that the passport card will be before the passport itself. You can get, if you pay extra, there is a service which provides that, which the State Department does accept. It's like $150, $200. I know that there is a service available for that certain countries allow. But the State Department is not issuing digital passports. Like the European Union, you can use a digital passport with them. So if you've had one within the past 10 years, it's a magnetic strip. It's not technically not a chip. It's a mag strip. Yeah.
They had like a NFC in them, yeah.
Well, it's like NFC, and if you're flagged, then everything goes off. But you can only put in your wallet that which is been allowed to put in the wallet. You can't scan things and add to your wallet. I wish you could, but you can't. That's why my Vax card, I not only have that Vax Yes, I have photos of it. I have photos of my Medicare card.